This is TWiT.
It's been interesting to watch the reaction to this story, and I just had to put it at the top of the show for the sheer unbridled joy of getting all weepy about this. But Radioshack, as we know it, is finally done, or most likely done. They've been threatening it for a while. They finally filed for bankruptcy earlier today. Looks like they're going to do a deal with Sprint. Like Sprint might take over as many as half of the Radioshack locations. We've heard whispers of Amazon potentially taking some of them over. But they filed for Chapter 11 later on today. So they're going to show, I think it's, 1,500 to 2,400 stores go to its larger shareholder, according to the article on the AP Newswire. To its largest shareholder, investment firm Standard General, and they're going to close the remainder of the 4,000 U.S. stores. I don't know if that actually includes the 900 or so independent Radioshack stores, which if you haven't spent a lot of time in the smaller towns of America, you may have never seen sort of a combined Radioshack / drugstore or Radioshack / coffee shop. But they've been a fixture in the United States for decades. So it's going to be interesting to see what exactly happens. Okay, so Sprint's going to take as many as 1,750 of the Radioshack stores that Standard General is buying to put mini shops in. Sprint would be the primary brand, and it's a bummer, man. Sprint's been a fixture of my life. My first soldering experience involved a radio kit from Radioshack. Radioshack has saved me when I needed technology at desert races in the middle of nowhere. You know, I've been buying parts for them for the build shows I've done over the last few years. I'm bummed. I'm really bumming about this. Do you care about Radioshack? Am I the only person that's particularly bummed about this?
Based on my Twitter feed, you were definitely not the only person that cares about it. I feel like this should have happened a while ago. Right. Didn't it like almost die, and then they branded it the Shack, and then it almost died, and then they branded it Radioshack again.
Yeah.
And then
Shack was a long time. That I will call it a debacle.
Like
but
we were attempting to build like some small project stuff here, and we went to Radioshack and we bought a couple of things that were useful for it. So we will miss that outlet if and when that store actually closes, because Amazon, I don't think doesn't sell resistors.
Oh, no, I'm pretty sure you can find them, but you can't find them at 4 o'clock on a Sunday afternoon.
Exactly. So, for those instances when you need that stuff now, it's going to be disappointing. Just like I would be disappointed if Best Buy's closed, not because I shop at Best Buy all the time anymore, but because that day I decided I wanted a new TV and I wasn't going to wait for over the weekend to end so I could order off Amazon. I just went to Best Buy and bought it, right? Or if I need something to do, if I need to buy a new iPad because I need to do benchmarks, I want to go pick it up today. I don't want to have to wait till tomorrow or whatever it is. Having that flexibility is there. So I think that's what you miss from Radioshack, because I don't think people go into Radioshack for advice anymore. I don't think those are the types of people that were employed at Radioshacks. I think people that were working there were trying to upsell you on cell phone plans or something like that instead. So it's I personally don't have as much of a personal story with Radioshack, other than that's where I went for everything regarding computer accessories and adapters and cables before the internet was really a viable option for that. So it sucks anytime somebody's going to lose their job or a company closes, but I think everybody saw this coming for a while.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue that. It's funny, like I just dropped a link into the show notes. If you go to Amazon, like there's Amoco 500 pieces axial lead metal film resistors, 1% 1 watt resistor substitution box. Amazon Industrial is pretty amazing if you want to buy some pretty random stuff. But yeah, I mean, we still have Fry's out here, but the nearest Fry's for me is like a 30-45 minute drive, best case scenario.
Yeah, I've got a Micro Center, but it's a 45-minute drive at least one way for me as well.
Yeah, I mean, and that's part of one of the articles, and I've read probably every article, it seems, on Radioshack in the last few days. I think at their peak, there was literally a Radioshack like a 5 to 7 minute drive from like 90-something% of the U.S. population. And one of the things they pointed out is as smartphone sales skyrocketed. Radio Shack's revenue went down in no small part because so many of the devices you would go to the Radio Shack to buy were, in this. It's interesting. That pretty much leaves Best Buy as kind of the last electronics store standing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll miss it. Like I said, first time I saw a computer outside of a lab, probably the first time I saw a computer was at a Radio Shack. The TRS-80. With the inevitable recipe for mom application. That was the first time that's the beginning of a joke that's now been running in my head for like 30 years. Yeah, I'm bumming. I'm not particularly surprised either, but it's been such a fixture and so useful in so many ways. Weather radios. Where will I buy my weather radios?
Amazon still.
I suppose. And you should have a weather radio before the storm comes.